Welcome to No More Secrets on Sunday, the podcast where silence ends and healing begins. I'm your host, Lucretia J. Ville, here to guide women on a journey of reclaiming their voice, rebuilding sacred spaces within, and thriving beyond trauma. I'm here with my co-host, Cherise Seiler, and each month we'll shatter the silence that holds us back and share stories that empower and explore tools to heal, grow, and live boldly. It's time to break free. Together, let's get started.
We are so excited. I am Cherise.
I am Lucretia.
Yes. And we are so happy to be here so that we can help you in your silence. And I'm excited. We've been waiting a long time for this. It's not an easy topic. It's not an easy subject. It's easy for people to say, hey, go get some help, get some healing. And then there's a difference with actually putting it to work. And you can get to level 1 and level 2 and say, I don't like this road, and turn around. Because it's not pretty. It's not done in a group form. You can have a discussion with groups, but however, when you go home or to a place of solidarity, you can have voices, and there's all kind of negative notations, right?
Right.
But that's why we're here.
Yeah, that's the whole goal, is to help people figure out what their own journey is. So, I wrote this book based on my journey, but also based on research-backed studies that show what helps you through those processes. Combining with what I experienced and what people can take from that research and that understanding, they can find their own path. And that's the goal, is to dive deeper into some of these things that we talked about in the book, so that people can figure out where they are and how they can get to that place where they feel sacred within again. What do I need to do to unmask who I really am and get that sacred space back?
It's funny. You use the word unmask, which is perfect because guess what we're in the middle of? The holiday season. And what better way to describe the holidays other than masking? If we're honest about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't this the holiday where, yes, there's supposed to be joy and there's music, you see the movies, right? The choirs, the people are smiling. However, we know, like, on the inside, there's a lot going on.
Right.
And people, most of the time, they don't get to address those things because they know that they can't in that environment.
Yeah. With the time of what joy and jolly, but it's sometimes it's not real. It's not actualized in that person's life. Real joy, real happiness, real contentment within themselves.
And think about how many masks you actually had to put on because you never took it off. That's layers and layers and layers being placed.
A lot of times people mask without knowing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even realize that you're masking. If you have things that you're holding in that you feel like you could not say to someone else, or you feel like you could not express openly without judgment, you're masking. This season is about being able to say, hey, this is where I am, and I don't care how you feel about it. I could give a flying, we're going to keep this podcast clean, but I could care less, about how you feel about my truth. And I think that is where in this season people will have a better chance at peace, chance at actual joy, because you can still be struggling and have joy. There's the two can coexist when you don't have to mask. The reason people feel that heaviness and feel like there's so much weight is because they can't talk about it. They can't say it. They can't express it without feeling judged. And so that's just one example. There's this trend on TikTok that says, we listen and we don't judge. And I find this trend super hilarious. I do. I think it's so funny to see what people actually say out loud.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's actually probably freeing for a lot of people who are doing this trend. And then something came up where me and my daughter was talking, and I said, we should do this in our family. And she was like, no, our family is not ready for, we don't listen, we listen and we don't judge. And so that particular is a freeing thing. when people get to the place where they can unmask how they feel. I went through a ton of relationship trauma, and specifically trauma that was tied into my faith, tied into my spirituality. And I had to go through that process of healing, of that state method that I talk about, to get to the point where I could even share this in a book. Like I wrote this and I wrote this book. It's been there for a long time, but we are talking about masking today. And so the holdup was, if I write this book, then I have to take off my mask. I realized I could not lie in this book. I could not like half tell the truth, sugarcoat everything, and make myself look pretty in it, because I that would be defeat the purpose. Which is why I didn't write it for so long. I didn't put it out there for so long.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But then when I see I'm connected to something that's out there that's false, it's like, okay, if we're going to tell this story, we're going to tell the truth about this story. And we're going to tell the truth so we can help others, not in any way to make myself look a certain way.
My masking was like threefold because I had to be the perfect daughter, right? I'm an entire PK times two.
Mm.
And for
Wow.
those who don't understand that, both parents are pastors of two different churches. And then there is the effect of the siblings are pastors, right? So surely Cherise has to be the perfect child, the perfect sibling, the perfect daughter, and not herself, you know. And at that point, who was I anyway? I've had to bury her so many times. Well, I don't know who Cherise is anymore anyway. So why not? It's easier, right? That's you put on that mask. And so
Mm.
for me, unmasking was the good old, as you said, realization, the aha moment. I love that part when you write about that because that's very big for me. When you get that moment, that light that goes off, and you're like, wait a minute. I think the first thing that came to my brain literally was, I'm grown. you know, and you know that you're grown,
Yeah.
but for some reason, it takes the aha moment to be like, wait a minute, I am
Yeah.
not 12.
And I think, and we'll touch on this in later episodes, but I think, when you are under extremely charismatic leadership, your aha moments get suppressed.
Oh, yes.
I'm gonna say that
I look
again.
forward to that.
When you are under extremely charismatic leadership, your aha moments will get suppressed. And we're not saying charisma is a bad thing, but charisma in the wrong hands,
No, yes, that's it right there.
charisma through the wrong person is a bad thing. It doesn't mean that the individual is bad, but it does mean that they are unaware of how they're affecting other people. That is not just in the church, that is in corporate, that is in your family. Anybody who is in a position of leadership over you or in conjunction with you, and they use it to their advantage and your disadvantage, it doesn't matter what environment. It matters that you realize that you're in it. We will address that.
Absolutely.
We're gonna stick to the, the masking. Let's dive into those things of the results or the cost of masking, and then how do we get out of that? So where would you want to start there?
I believe when it comes to masking, the biggest thing that hit me was my time. I lost plenty of time. So many years. Not just like money, energy, well being, my health, because everything takes a hit, right? Um, when you're masking, that's a lot of energy. It's a lot of energy is draining because you have to keep putting on and putting on. All these things have negative notations on our body, on our brain, and your pocketbook. You're aging faster, right? You're not aging properly. You're stressed out. I gotta. For this person and that person, it's a lot. And time is something we do not get back. Time waits for no one. And you lose a lot of time when you're masking for sure. It's a big cost in my book.
I lost time, and I literally lost my mind. I literally lost myself. I was too busy trying to be that person that wasn't hurt, that person that hadn't been through anything, I just it was a lot. And so there are, to this day, time gaps that I can't even tell you about. There's people that come back and say, "Oh, you remember when we did this?" And I'll be like, "No." Because you're so heavy up under that mask, and you're so up under holding the burdens of other people that are on you. Really truly losing myself. That is, I think that people don't even realize they're losing themselves. They don't even they think that the masked version of them is who they are.
They are. They've been
And
doing
you
it for so
and,
long.
and I was gonna say, if you're doing it for years, you think you really think that's who you are, until you get to the point where you're like, wait, that's not really who I am. Time and the loss of self is the sacrifices that you make if you continue on that journey of masking. You continue on that journey of holding in other people's secrets, holding in your own, holding in anything that is going to hold you down.
Okay, so now you know the costs. How do you help yourself
Yeah.
prevent to heal from these things, these
Yeah.
masking things that we have created or the environment has created for us? Some of the things that help to start the unmasking of it is environment. And even if it's family, I think the issue mainly is like what you were saying, family that can get sensitive, right? So people would say, "Well, I don't have to deal with some of these things because that's my blood." You hear that a lot. That's your blood. That's your blood. At what point does that toxic behavior of that's your family? When does that um, end? Because it doesn't mean that it's okay just because it's your bloodline. That doesn't make it okay. And you hear people say that all the time, but that's a real thing. That environment is not conducive. Like I said earlier, if you have 365 days of the year and no one speaks to you except for that one time of year and they use it to demean you, you don't have to keep putting yourself in that situation. I don't care if that's the aunt that helped you move to college. I don't care if it's the aunt that bought you your first car.
Mm.
I don't care if it was the one that helped you pay your first 3 months when you graduated. It doesn't matter. It does not make it okay to be mistreated and for someone to diminish you. It's not okay. When you get to that point, you're going to help yourself with the unmasking process to say, okay, you know what? I don't have to be there. They don't have to see me. And you can feel okay about it. Same thing goes with church environment. Sometimes cultish environments, people don't even know that they're in a cultish environment.
Mm-hmm.
It, like you said earlier, it becomes them. It becomes who they are. So they don't even realize this is not a good environment for me.
Right. It's really truly about those boundaries. The word boundaries is thrown around
All the time.
so often. I don't know if people really understand what that looks like. I know I didn't. I was about I was boundless. I had no boundaries. Like anything go when you come when you connect with the creature, it's a free fall. um, I think that the point where you can start to understand what a boundary is, it's not about them.
No.
Your boundary is about you. Your boundary is about whether or not you want to do something or not. That's up to you.
Yeah.
But this is how I'm going to move forward. This is how I'm moving. And if
Mhm.
you're not moving like me, you're not going to be comfortable. When you decide this is the space that I'm going to be in, that boundary is created is because those people don't know how to operate in that space. It's about you holding your ground in your own space. That sets up boundaries for individual other people because they don't know how to operate. And if they don't belong there, they don't know how to operate there. You want to get to the point where you start to unmask yourself. What you're doing is you're stepping into the spaces that you're supposed to be in. You're stepping into the space where you're okay with saying who you are, where you are, and where you want to be. And if that person is not, they trust me, they'll fall off. So I think boundaries is important when it comes to unmasking. I think that's a good step to say, okay, this is the space. I'm gonna take this mask off and I'm gonna stay in this space. And anybody that tries to get in this space, they won't be able to because they don't know how to operate in it. It's work. It
It's work.
is constant evaluation of self. the title of the book is No More Secrets on Sunday, and it's really about finding that sacred space within you. So we use Sunday as, just a term to represent that space where, you want to create some time of spirituality, of self-reflection and things like that. But it's not just about church or anything of that nature. It's really truly about what's within here, what's sacred within. So
I think
just
I love the title of the book for
yeah.
one. No more secrets regarding whatever that sacred place is.
Hmm.
Whether it's the home, church, the gym, it doesn't matter. If this place is supposed to be, or this day, or this moment is supposed to be a healthy one, something that's spiritual in any means, or something where you're supposed to relax, holding secrets don't help you relax. Having a meditation moment where you're holding secrets, you're not meditating, you're covering. You're not
Hmm.
doing any justice to yourself. And that's why the title is so great, because you got to dig deeper than just look, oh, no more secrets on Sunday. No, this is about what your Sunday is. I can't wait for everyone to get this book. Go get this book. Um, it's in all forms, digital, physical. Go get this book. No more secrets on Sunday. And we're gonna help you heal. We've done the work, but you're consistently healing. We evolve daily. And as we evolve, we have to heal daily. And this book will help catapult you there. And we can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear people's stories and to hear the results. And let's hear about how the work is going for you. Maybe we can help. So we are very excited about this and the topics that are to come. We look forward to hearing from you out there, and let us know when you get the book. Chime in, send something,
Yes.
tell us that you got it.
Yes.
We can't wait to hear from you.
We're glad you were able to join us. If today's episode resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Feel free to share and connect with our growing community. Remember, your voice matters, your healing is sacred, and your story has the power to inspire. Until the next time, keep shattering silence and reclaim your truth.